everyone, welcome back to the Bingkai Suara podcast. I'm your host, Madi, and today I'm really happy because we have someone exceptional with us. His debut album, Dual Reality, just came out in September, and it's received a lot of attention since its release. With over 50 million streams and millions of followers on TikTok, he connects with his fans by sharing his passion in music and personal journey. His music combines indie pop with personal stories from his life, including raising awareness for the struggles posed by the Israeli Palestinian war. Please welcome our guest, Palestinian Jordanian singer songwriter Badir, known by his stage name Llunr. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing
Thank
today?
you. Thank you. What an amazing intro. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on the release of your very first album, Dual Reality. How does it
Thank you.
feel? Yeah, how does it feel like now that it's out there?
Well, it feels great. I think, the album has taken a while to come to fruition, but I'm really happy that it's finally out. All the work is finally out. Some of the songs off the album are 4 years old, so I'm happy that,
4 years
it's a
old?
nice yeah, it's a nice release. One of the songs off the album, yeah, is 4 years old. I
Which
wrote
one
it
is
4 years
it?
ago. So it's the song called The Root or The Route,
Oh,
however you
yeah,
pronounce it. Yeah.
the route. I see, I see. So firstly, let's talk about yourself first.
hmm
Why did you choose the name Lunar for your stage name? Like, is there a story behind the pronunciation? No, no, no. I mean the spelling.
Yes.
Spelled
So,
L-L-U-N-R. Yes.
yeah, Llunr. So my name is Bedr, which in Arabic means full moon, and lunar, obviously means the moon. And the spelling, it's actually funny. We were sitting down at a coffee shop, and we were trying to figure out the best way to spell the name so that when you write it down, I'm the only person that you'll find. And Llunr is there was no person that has taken Lunar. It wasn't taken. So we just hopped on it right away, and that just became my name.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get it now. Yeah, you're so right about that. When when you search up lunar, like with normal spelling, all that would come up is pictures of the moon, I suppose.
Exactly. Hopefully one day it'll just be pictures of me, but for now it's just the moon.
I'm waiting for that day to come.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy your album very much. My
Thank you.
personal favorites are Rebels of the Blue.
Rebels of the Rule. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Rebels
one
of
of
the
my
Rule.
favorite songs.
And
Yeah, Rebels of the Rule.
Who Are You?
Oh wow, okay, that's amazing. Yeah, those are some of my favorite songs as well. I mean, all the songs off the album are my favorite, but Rebels of the Rule was very fun to create and to produce. And Who Are You as well. Because Who Are You was kind of me experimenting with different sounds and rhythms and patterns and percussive patterns and so on. So those were really exciting to create.
Thank you very much for sharing. Um, I want to ask something. You grew up
Mhm.
with a diverse background, right? How has that shaped your music and perspective?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm Palestinian, living in Jordan. Um, you know, with dual reality, um, and I've lived half my life, by the way, just a backstory. I've lived half my life in the USA, and then the second half here in Jordan. So I've always been influenced by kind of the Western culture, but at the same time, when coming here, I started gathering some new influences, and I think with the album, I wanted to experiment with those influences, sounds from this region, sounds from and instruments and scales maybe even. So with some songs off of the album, I did decide to kind of mix and match, kind of have that rich cultural tapestry to kind of draw from, which is here in these areas. And I try to integrate it into my music through, the melodies and instrumentation and storytelling. Like I wanted to create sounds that felt modern, but at the same time were rooted in tradition. So some of the songs off of the album do have that kind of combination of Middle Eastern instruments and scales, but with contemporary pop production. And I aim to kind of bridge those cultures to create something both familiar but also unique.
Indeed. And then because of the war in Palestine, last year you decided to delay your album, initially titled Hear Me Out, right? How did
Yes.
that influence your music and your creative process?
Yeah. So I did have a different album that I had originally planned to release. It was planned to come out October 20th last year. However, kind of amidst the genocide of my people and what they were enduring, it it felt it didn't feel right to like celebrate
There
something that
was
was
nothing to celebrate.
so disconnected from the reality that we were in. Um, so I reevaluated everything, um, reevaluated the album, reevaluated Hear Me Out, um, and started creating other songs, um, and created Dual Reality as something that was more honest, authentic, something that was a more reflective piece. Um, I kind of in the album I explored contrasts of joy, but also sorrow, celebration, struggle, um, and seeing that there were a lot of people that were feeling that way that have kind of have woken up to like quote unquote this reality. Um, I felt like wait a second, like people feel this way. It's not just me. And so I was really excited and really happy to kind of put Dual Reality together, and present it to the world.
And then we get what we have today, Dual Reality.
Yeah, Dual Reality today. It came out September 27th, um, full of songs that it's a balance between you know I don't want to say light and darkness too much, but because I love the songs that I have released prior, and I love the songs that I put out today because they both mean so much to me. And I think Dual Reality isn't just two separate realities. It's two separate things that ultimately live in this one reality. And so I think that's what Dual Reality is. It's two realities, but put into one album, put into the one life that we all live. So there are different messages across the whole entire album. Um, some about love, some about life and its ever-changing nature, some about loss, um, some about taking a deep breath, but some also about
Like slow down.
waking up. Like slow down. There you go. Yeah, taking a deep breath. Wow. Yeah, some about waking up, some about messages to those in power, world leaders. Um, yeah, I think that's what Dual Reality is. It's a mix of different, ultimately different feelings and different messages, but put into one album.
After taking that time, did you notice any growth in your skills as an artist? Like, did the delay help you refine your sound or your message?
The delay definitely. I keep referring and leaning back onto these two words, but the delay definitely woke me up, to something that I really didn't see before, and I think that's what inspired, technically half of the album. Um, so I mean, the delay definitely kind of and I don't want to say inspired me. I don't know. It feels wrong to say that the delay inspired me because it just doesn't feel right. But it did affect me. And when I'm affected and I'm feeling a certain way, my outlet is music. And the way I speak to myself is through writing. And
Mm.
so yeah, that's kind of how, yeah, you're just kind of giving me the hand gestures. You're feeling the same way I'm feeling, right?
I too.
Yeah. Um, so that's kind of what I would say um, towards, yeah, your question. I think I lost track. Yeah.
You're good. Let's move on and dive into your album, Dual
Please.
Reality. Yes. The way it's structured, I find it interesting. So, as you describe, perhaps not like in dark, but two different realities that can coexist in
Hmm.
one life. Originally, the album was called "Hear Me Out," as we talked
Hmm.
about before. What made you change the title and rework it?
Well, I mean, yeah. So Hear Me Out was a completely different album. The songs that were on the album, you know, the structure of it, the concept behind it was just very different. Hear Me Out was kind of my hello to the world, like, hey, listen over here. It's me, you know.
It's me,
Um,
Lunar.
it's me, Lunar, but again, it didn't feel right to celebrate such an album during that period. And it didn't feel right to me. My moral compass just wasn't. So that's where dual reality kind of came in because that's exactly how I was feeling. I felt like I felt like, Neo from the Matrix. You take the red pill or the blue pill, and you kind of
Of
wake up to
course.
like this completely different world. I didn't take any pills, but I woke up into this world, and it just felt like um, two different realities. And I think that's where the album name was kind of coined up.
The first half of the album focuses on themes of life, love, and loss. And then the second half deals with darker topics like war, justice, and fighting for the people. What
Hmm.
was the writing process like? I wonder.
So for the first half, many of the songs that were on the first half were written prior. They were written maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then the second half was written out of rage, you know, out of sympathy and empathy towards my people in Palestine and the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And so that's kind of how the split happened. Um, both kind of realities mean so much to me because they both came from my heart and they resonate with me always and forever. Um, but that's essentially how both sides were split.
See. So the second half was written as a response
The second
to
half
the
was definitely written as a
disappointing.
response.
I
Yeah,
see.
definitely. Both with Wake Up being the first song off of, I mean, I would say the second reality. But yeah, it's the song that comes after Quite Like You, and it's just a shift. It's a song that I had written that is a call to action, and it's inspired by the power and unity of people standing together against oppression amidst the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Um, and it's not just about resilience, but it's also about awakening to the realities around us and taking steps forward to change. Um, and that's the intro to all the other songs right after Wake Up.
Thank you very much. I'm
No, thank you. These are
curious.
some great questions.
Thank you.
I
It took some
I hope you're
time.
enjoying my answers.
Yeah, yeah. I'm having a really pleasant time right now. Thank you so much. The way you answer, they're so thought out. And the more I listen to you, the more I feel like I'm learning more and more.
Yeah, I struggle sometimes to kind of, you know, talk about the music because what I feel is what I write and create, and it's kind of like
Mm.
having that back and forth is something that I kind of um, find hard to do sometimes. So I'm happy that you're happy. So I think we're doing a good job here. Thank you.
My pleasure. And then I'm curious about the album cover, like the visuals. What's the idea behind it? And how do they connect to the album's themes? The red sky, and then
Mhm.
the green field behind. And then what's up with the blindfold?
Yeah. So first of all, I can't take credit for this and this idea. This is a combination of this is my wife. My wife is my creative director
Oh,
and
is she,
designer
wait,
and every. Sorry?
is she the one? Is she the one who sang in When the Walls Come Down?
Yeah, she's the one who's saying when the walls come down. And I'll tell you
I
that
see.
story
So
in a
that's
second.
her. Okay, okay.
Yeah, but for the album cover, we wanted to mirror what dual reality meant, but visually. And I'm not a visual person by any means. I don't understand. You know, I kind of see things sometimes, and I will describe it to someone, but I'll never know how to like kind of put it together and be like, that's really cool, or that makes so much sense. But with my wife, she already understood kind of what I was going through, and she's always with me, so she gets me inside and out. So while we were creating the cover art for the album artwork, we wanted to reflect these two realities. So the red sky being kind of reality two, and then the green field being reality one, being kind of the light, the green field being the kind of light and kind of um, um, fun, you know, because the reality one's about love and hope and life and its ever-changing nature, and the style of music is a bit more upbeat and so on. So these are kind of what we wanted to reflect visually. So we decided to do it with a green field, and then the red sky representing rage, representing anger, representing struggle. And so that's kind of why the red sky, and then both of them coexisting into one square, it being the album. There are the album cover art. There are some Easter eggs on the album cover art. Um,
Tell
there
me.
is, yeah, so we had the album cover art for last year being Hear Me Out, was a banner. It was like a big billboard, and it had Hear Me Out written all over it. And so we added that on the album cover art. On the bottom, like midway on the left side, if you zoom in, you can see Hear Me Out. It's way behind me. Um, yeah, so we really enjoyed making the album cover. It was really fun. I'm trying to
I
think
should
of
go check
like
it
all
out
the other
again,
stuff that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just zoom
even
in, you'll
though
see it. There's a
just
lot of Easter eggs. There's a rocket ship also flying in the background, kind of representing the first song off of the album and it taking off. Um, yeah, you can check them out. Find the Easter eggs if you haven't already. Go zoom in and do your yeah, look through it.
yeah, I will.
Oh, and then when the walls come down, yeah. So my wife was a big part of the album, and she, you know, without her, I don't think that this album would have existed because she was the backbone behind everything visual that you see off of the album. And on top of that, she has her own voice on one of the songs off of the album. So big shout out to my wife. I love you. You did a great job.
She's incredible. I was searching. So the song was under your name only.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was looking for the one that you were collaborating with, but there was no credited.
Are you
So
talking about when the walls come down?
yes, about that particular
Yeah.
song because
She's very shy. She doesn't want to be, you know, in the music industry. She doesn't want to be an artist, but um with When the Walls Come Down, I just felt like she has a beautiful voice, and I just felt like, she would really take this song to the next level, and she would really kind of take this song and turn it into something very special. And after weeks and months of convincing her, she finally did it. And I'm
I'm
glad that
glad
she
you
did.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Because after listening to your voice song after song, and then suddenly, boom, now there's a woman singing.
Yeah.
So
She
yeah,
was she was a
it's
part of this project as much as me. So I'm glad
yes.
that, she had her own kind of voice on
I
the album. It's just the cherry on top.
indeed, I finally found her name on YouTube in the bottom of the credits as a
Oh,
producer
you
and the wardrobe and the
oh, you
and the
did.
designer for.
Yeah. Big shout out to Russia. Her name is Russia.
Thank you, Russia.
Big love to you, Russia. Yeah, thank you, Russia. Without you,
Without
this wouldn't
you,
exist.
yes, we almost say the same things at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, who do you
Mhm.
hope will relate to the album?
Oh, everyone. Uh,
Everyone.
everyone. Yeah. I mean, the songs off of the album are, well, I mean, whoever can relate to the words, whoever can relate to the feeling, really. But the goal, you know, was to create music for myself, and in hopes that, others will feel, and can resonate with these songs. Um, I hope, listeners can take away um, a lot of things off of these songs. I hope they feel understood. Um, I hope they can think about the person that they love when listening to some songs off of the album. I hope that they can get through whatever struggles life, pushes their way. I hope they find solace in knowing that they're not alone in their struggles. These songs are meant to be a mirror reflecting both, the challenges that we face, and the hope that keeps us moving forward. So I hope you listen to the album and you enjoy each song, and you listen to them when you're feeling certain ways.
I see. Personally, the second half of the album is what throws a stronger impression on me. Like when I was listening to it, I felt anger, anger and that kind of feeling. Like I got worked up.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
yeah.
what the second half was kind of. It came from rage. It came from, it came from anger. It came from, it's what I was feeling in that time, and what I still currently feel. Um, I wanted to reflect that through the composition, through the percussive patterns, through, whether it be vocal layers, but more importantly, also through the words. I think, to me, I'm a songwriter at heart. I write music, first, um, and I write to kind of express how I'm feeling, and I feel like that's the first thing that I do when it comes to creating music. And that's what I was feeling when I was writing these songs. And I just kind of wanted to find a way to portray these words in the best way possible, and surround them by the best instrumentation possible to reflect these words and what I'm feeling, and these emotions that I was feeling. So I'm happy that you felt that way when you were listening to these songs, because that means that I did my job right, did it well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So after that, what's been one of the most memorable reactions from fans since the album came out?
Oh, wow. Um, that's crazy that you say that, because just the other day I got a video of someone using Rocket Ship for their wedding. And they slow danced to the song at their wedding, which was amazing. I was
Oh,
just like, oh, Rocket Ship is a wedding song. I didn't see that. Um, I've received many videos from all across the world of people using "The World Could End with You" as their song for their slow dance at their wedding as well. Sometimes even the song that they use, after the videographer puts together all the footage and stuff, and they want to use a song in the background. "The World Could End with You" is that song sometimes. So it's really nice. It feels very surreal to see that because I had written the song for my wedding. I had not released it. I had written for it just for my wedding to gift it to my wife, surprise her with that slow dance song. And then later on, people asked me to release it. They were just like, yo, this is a great song. You have to release it. And so I did. And ever since then, I receive videos every now and then of people using the song at their weddings, and that's just very surreal. And that just makes me feel very like happy and warm and toasty on the inside because I used that song for my wedding, and now you're using it for yours, and that just makes me happy. I don't know. I'm like blushing while saying these things. Like, yeah, it's cool.
It's beautiful, really sweet
Yeah.
that you have that effect on people.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, this is where the dual reality aspect comes in, right? On the flip
Mhm.
side, you have Wake Up being a song that's being used in protests all over the world. I've received many videos of people reciting and singing this song in Palestinian protests around the world, in the UK, in the States, in Far East Asia. Just it's very surreal to see these songs become a part of people's lives in various ways, whether it be through love and celebration and weddings and so forth, or it be through protests and solidarity and it's just, yeah, I'm kind of staring out into the distance just thinking about it. It's very surreal to me. But that's the purpose of the album. That's the purpose of the album. So I'm glad to see fans kind of, you know, um, resonating with the album in this way.
Just amazing. How
Yeah.
do you hope this album will make a difference to the listeners?
I mean, I hope this album, you listen to it front and back, and you you think about your loved ones, whether it be your family, whether it be, your partner, whether it be your pet when you're listening to love songs. I hope, Slow Down takes you, makes you feel better. It's a lullaby that'll help you get by. If you're going through life struggles, I hope the root makes you feel empowered, that even though life keeps changing, you understand that you're going to keep changing with it. And, that makes you feel kind of empowered to keep moving through and keep pushing through and becoming the best version that you are, or that you can become. I hope Quite Like You takes you through, helps you get through the person or the thing that you've lost. I hope that Wake Up wakes you up and makes you feel also empowered to play your role in all of this. I hope every single song off the album gets you through that particular purpose that the song is made for. Um, yeah.
Thank you very much, Llunr. Thank you so, so much, Llunr, for joining us today and sharing your stories and your insight with us. I've learned
No, thank
so
you.
much, a lot from your story. For everyone listening, stream Dual Reality on your favorite platforms. If you've enjoyed our conversation, hit that subscribe button on the Bingkai Karya channel to stay updated. I've been Madi, and you've been listening to the Bingkai Suara podcast. Over and out. That's it.
Thank you so much. That was
Thank
amazing.